First at 5, as floods destroyed parts of neighboring Kerr County July 4th, a Kendall County Sheriff's deputy appeared to downplay the seriousness of the flooding situation.
The audio was among more than 100 recordings from a non-emergency line obtained by KSAT Investigates this week. We do want to warn that this story may be upsetting to some viewers. Dylan Collier has more.
I got out and told them, like, hey, get away, there's a wall of water coming at us right now.
As historic rain caused the Guadalupe River to carve a deadly path through Kerr County, it soon became a dicey situation downstream.
We just got a call. We transferred to y'all about a person in a tree near Comfort.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Among the calls handled that morning by the Bernie Police non-emergency line was this exchange between a dispatcher and a Kendall County Sheriff's deputy.
Comfort Fire Department called. They said that they received a call from Kerr County advising that the water is on the rise, should be here in about 4 to 6 hours, and they're stating that we need to close all crossings.
What?
Yeah, this is coming.
What crossings?
After the dispatcher played for the deputy, the call, which recommended all crossings through Waring in northwest Kendall County be closed, he responded,
Yeah, I'll jump right on that.
A little more than 20 minutes later, now just after 5 a.m., came this recorded statement.
Hey, did y'all open up a call sheet for that water flood stuff?
A spokesman for the city of Bernie today confirmed the comments were made by a Kendall County Sheriff's deputy. When asked for the name of the deputy, a KCSO lieutenant told KSAT the voice is not that of Sheriff Al Auxier or a member of his command staff, and that he had forwarded our request to the sheriff for a response. The flooding killed more than 100 people in Kerr County. 9 additional bodies were recovered in Kendall County, none of them residents there. Officials have said the victims were swept downstream from other communities. Now, this is the latest unfortunate comment made during the flood response. Late last month, we revealed that Kerrville City Manager referred to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem as, quote, basically Homeland Barbie. That statement was made via text message July 5th following an emergency press conference event in Kerrville.
Clearly, this is a person that's supposed to be warning people of floods coming, to take precautions. And he didn't even take it seriously.
Has the power to go out and shut down low water crossings, which was why the dispatcher had reached out. So in odd response to what had been a warning passed down from Kerr County to the Comfort Volunteer Fire Department through the dispatcher and then to this deputy.
Yeah. All right, Dylan, thanks for bringing that to light.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Now to an update on a story that we have been following for months now. A teenager accused of planning a mass attack at Rhodes Middle School earlier this year stood in front of a judge again today asking to be released on bond. But the judge ordered the teen to remain in custody and continue receiving mental health services. Authorities caught the teenager before he carried out that alleged planned attack. His next court date will be on August 28th. Meanwhile, the teen's mother is out on bond. She was arrested for allegedly buying her son ammunition and tactical gear for that attack. Then last Friday, she was arrested again after investigators say that photo evidence showed her pointing a gun at an infant in 2023. Records show that Ashley Pardo was released on bond on Monday.
Bexar County voters will be asked in November about helping fund a new Spurs arena. So we want to hear from you before then. Do you support raising the Bexar County venue tax for either of the following? New Spurs arena downtown, a Coliseum complex, or both? The county's venue tax on car rentals and hotel stays helped fund the now Frost Bank Center. Now you'll be asked whether to use it again and raise the hotel portion. Not only to cover up to 25% of a new NBA arena, but also to maintain the current arena and improving the surrounding Coliseum grounds. Would you support either, neither, or both of those? Right now, you can see 26% a new Spurs arena, 1% a Coliseum complex, 14% both, 58% neither. This poll's still open. Vote on our poll, and at 6 you can hear how much is riding on this election.
After months of delays, extensions, and negotiations, those sweeping U.S. tariffs are now in effect on imports.
More than 60 countries now facing those tariffs, ranging from 15% up to 41% on their goods coming into the U.S., with almost all imported goods subject to a 10% tariff. Right now, several countries scrambling to find alternative customers to the U.S. market.
The tariffs, I think, we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs.
We reached out to Toyota of Texas to see how they will be impacted by these tariffs. In a statement, they said, quote, a 25% tariff on imported vehicles is highly disruptive and cannot be sustained. Tariffs of this magnitude will lead to significantly higher vehicle prices, further erode affordability and choices for the American consumer, and negatively impact the economy, suppliers, and the auto industry, end quote. A report from Yale's Budget Lab shows it could cost the average household an additional $2,400 just this year.
Let's take a look at traffic out there during this 5 o'clock commute. We're going to go to I-37 here at Jones Avenue. You can see it's a little slow going there on the far left lane, but no major issues or tie-ups to tell you about.
Adam.
It's Thursday, so the new drought monitor is in, and really not a change at all locally. Pretty much looks identical to last week's. Now, we go into West Texas, and that's where we actually had some categorical improvements. We're talking from Fort Stockton to Alpine Marfa and westward, especially El Paso. The farthest west 2 counties in Texas, that's where we had some changes, but locally, no changes. But off to the west where you see this orange, that was red, and basically just a slight improvement out west. You know, it's more than just, rainfall, but it's also taken into account like spring flow. So for example, Comal Springs today at 106 cubic feet per second, that's 145 cubic feet per second below average. In San Marcos Springs, similar stream flow, but that's still 61 cubic feet per second below average. We're watching a new disturbance in Florida. What that means for our rain chances in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Now to the latest over Texas redistricting. The FBI granting a Republican senator's request to help track down Democratic Texas lawmakers who fled the state in protest of redrawing political maps.
ABC's Jacqueline reports from Los Angeles.
Political infighting is heating up in Texas after dozens of Democrats in the Texas House of Representatives fled the state, preventing Republicans from redrawing political maps mid-decade to favor Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives. Republican Senator John Cornyn announcing today FBI Director Kash Patel granted his request to assist in locating Texas House Democrats, the FBI declining to comment. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries slamming FBI involvement.
Donald Trump and extreme MAGA Republicans are desperate and continue to demonstrate a willingness to weaponize federal law enforcement to try and target people they view as political adversaries.
On Tuesday, Senator Cornyn requested assistance locating and investigating state legislators that left Texas.
There are a number of things on the call that Governor Abbott has listed, including redistricting, but they're missing all of those. And I think that's irresponsible. And I think we just need to get to the bottom of it.
Democrats accuse Republicans of trying to gain an unfair advantage in next year's midterm elections. Congressional maps are typically redrawn at the beginning of each decade to reflect changes in the population from the latest census.
This is an attempt to grab power, to change the rules, to determine a certain outcome. It has nothing to do with law. It is antithetical to law.
Each of the Texas state Democrats who fled are facing a $500 fine for each day they miss of the special legislative session. Democrats saying it's a price they're willing to pay for the country. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
It has been 1 week since the Conjunto legend Flaco Jimenez passed away. Tonight, his family hosting a memorial service that they are calling his final curtain call. The service will be held at the Carver Community Cultural Center on North Hackberry Street from 6 to 9 p.m. tonight. Los Tex-Maniacs and other special guests will perform. Flaco Jimenez's family says seating is first come, first serve.
The deadline is approaching for people affected by the recent flooding to apply for help. FEMA says that people in 10 Texas counties are eligible for federal disaster assistance. Those include Burnett, Guadalupe, Kerr, Kimball, McCulloch, Menard, San Saba, Tom Green, Travis, and Williamson counties. FEMA says that flood victims should file insurance claims on their primary homes, personal property, and vehicles before filing for help with FEMA. The deadline is 30 days from now. Unemployment benefits may also be available if you lost income or your job because of the floods. We have a link to that application on our website at KSAT.com.
Pet owners in the Hill Country should keep their animals out of river water right now. We spoke to Dr. Deborah Zorin, a vet for the Texas A&M Urban Search and Rescue Team. She warns that the water's still contaminated after the flooding. You might have seen search and rescue dogs working in the area. However, Dr. Zorin says those dogs are specially trained and not at the same risk as everyday pets.
With resident animals, yes, people can let their dogs go in the water and then bathe them, but what they can't keep them from doing is drinking the water. That's not humanly possible.
Yeah, the doctor says if your pet does end up in the water, you should bathe them immediately to avoid getting contaminants in your home and on you. Checking in with your vet, the best next step. And if you scan the QR code on your screen, you can find more tips in our full discussion with Dr. Zorin right now on KSAT.com.
And just a reminder, a Together for Texas concert is happening soon to raise money in the flood aftermath. This is on August 18th at the Tobin Center here in San Antonio. All proceeds go to local flood relief efforts supporting towns like Kerrville and Comfort. Tickets start at $35, and you can catch the concert live on KSAT 12, KSAT Plus, and online as well.
Tax-free weekend kicks off tomorrow. This year, you're expected to save big on school items. Coming up, what items will cost you less this year?
Plus, Texas lawmakers just cut property tax limits for big cities, but local leaders fearing that budget troubles could be ahead. Will this bill make it through the House? We'll talk about it coming up. The Texas Senate passed a bill tightening limits on how much property tax revenue cities and counties can raise without voter approval.
The new cap cuts the growth limit from 3.5% to 2.5% for places with at least 75,000 people. And supporters say taxpayers need a break. Leaders at the local level, though, warn this move could strain city budgets already stretched thin. The bill now heads to the House, where its future is uncertain amid ongoing political fights.
Texas will join several states across the country in banning cell phones in schools starting this fall. All districts are required to adopt and implement their own cell phone ban, but they don't have to do it all in the same way. Coming up at 6 o'clock today, we are hearing from several local school districts to see how each of them will create their own policies. You can read that full story right now by scanning that QR code there on your screen. Meanwhile, Northeast ISD has a board meeting today to discuss how they will adopt this cell phone ban. You can watch the meeting on KSAT.com and KSAT Plus.
Tax-free weekend starts in just a few hours, happening tomorrow, August 8th through midnight, Sunday, August 10th. You can buy clothes, shoes, school supplies, backpacks under $100 without paying taxes.
14 items that we're representing on this table alone that are lower than last year's price. So all these items right here are the staple stock, the most popular items that the customers are going to buy, right? And these are priced lower than last year because we realize customers want to save money and put it back in their pocket.
Again, tax-free weekend starts tomorrow through Sunday. Qualifying items can be purchased from a Texas store or online from a business in the state.
The San Antonio Public Library's used bookstore, The Bookseller, is hosting a book sale tomorrow and Saturday. For $10, you can also buy a reusable tote and fill that up with books. The event will start at 10 a.m. It goes through 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday. The Bookseller is in the auditorium of the Central Library downtown on Soledad Street.
Take a live look outside right now with live cam, and you see some clouds out there, but this is, in July we were used to seeing some rain somewhere on the radar.
Yeah.
Not seeing it today.
Not today. Right along the Gulf Coast where you typically see a few showers, we have a couple. And actually, if you noticed in that shot, it was a little hazy out there, a little more haze than usual. And I want to get right to the satellite imagery because you have to look pretty closely. If you're just listening to us, you got to walk over to your TV and take a look. But we have a little bit of Canadian wildfire smoke that's moving overhead. It's very subtle, and you need this high quality imagery from NOAA and even Colorado State. They're in conjunction working together to get us this information. But you see this little bit of haze right here. You can really see it over the Gulf, just off the basically Galveston coastline and Louisiana coastline, and it stretches westward. So just one of those little things that you can pick up with our fancy satellites these days. It's almost easier to see from space with our good satellites than it is with the naked eye just looking right up. Rain chances at 20% Sunday through Wednesday. Nothing significant. We're not anticipating those numbers to really rise much, but things can still change between now and then. Quiet across Texas. I'm watching right here in the Big Bend of Florida, a little area of development in terms of clusters of storms. And that's this dip in the upper level flow near the Panhandle. And that's helping to generate some of these showers and thunderstorms, even stretching off the Louisiana coastline as well. This is our next system. I would call it a weather maker, but I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of weather. Just a weak disturbance going to be headed our way, and it's an inverted trough. You know how we often talk about the dips in the upper level flow? This is an upside down dip, the kind that we get this time of year that come in from the east to come across the Gulf. So this weak disturbance should be just enough to stir up a few showers, turn some of our instability into a few isolated showers and brief downpours. Notice most of the rain, other parts of the Gulf coastline, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. Here, we're not looking at a whole lot of potential, but a few afternoon showers at that time can be expected. That's Sunday all the way through Wednesday. I think you can kind of see the haze here, just a little bit. In between the clouds, typically there's a lot more blue, and it's that milky color. Anyway, 98 the high today. I think that's going to be updated to 99. We'll know that come the 6 o'clock news. Either way, not a 100-degree day. Dew point is 63, so it feels like it's a couple of degrees above the actual air temperature. Santa Maria, Shirts, backyard thermometers at 100. Kerrville, Daniels Backyard, 95. 101 Del Rio. An August temperature map, if you ask me. Rick's Backyard in Bernie at 95. 98 at the airport officially. By 9 o'clock, we're at 90 degrees. 11 o'clock, 86. And the clouds that we have right now are going to clear out. And tomorrow's going to be another sunny day. Pretty much a carbon copy of today. I just tack on a couple of degrees. 77 at sunrise, 92 at noon, then 101 for the high temperature tomorrow, with pretty much wall-to-wall sunshine throughout the day. Hondo tomorrow, 102. Castroville, 102. Same with south side of San Antonio on Stinson, 102. Poteet, Pleasanton, say it with me, 102, the high temperature. Comfort about 98. And notice upper 90s as we get into next week with those slight rain chances. You know, a little extra cloud cover can trim off a few degrees with some natural shade. An update on the tropics and what we're watching in the Atlantic coming up at 6, along with lake levels.
All right. Thanks, Adam.
All right. Are the Roadrunners where they want to be right now, Larry?
That's a very good question, and it was one that was asked of head coach Jeff Traylor today as the Roadrunners get ready to start their season in a little over 3 weeks at Texas A&M. And we're going to meet the Grave Digger, a linebacker for Incarnate Word football, coming up.
You said Grave Digger, is that what your nickname?
Yes, sir.
Explain that to us.
I got that nickname like a few years ago when I was at the University of Pittsburgh. I was just a hothead, you know, linebacker. I ain't the biggest, but I just want to just go and hit people. So it just kind of gave me that name and it just stuck.
Dune Smith, a.k.a. the Grave Digger, is ready to play some football in big board sports. UTSA is a little over 3 weeks away from their season opener at Texas A&M on Saturday, August 30th at 6 p.m. The Aggies are ranked number 21 in the coaches poll, so talk about a tough game for UTSA right out of the gate. Today, Coach Traylor was asked if the team is where he wants them to be at this point in camp.
I don't know that you're ever there, and you don't really know. Do you go out there and play the game? I'm sure 21 times I'm going to say the same thing that I'm going to say to y'all in a couple of weeks, like, we're probably not ready, but we need to play, right? Because the game, there's nothing like the game. And I've said this to y'all a million times. I know y'all get tired of hearing my stuff, but the high school coaches get 2 scrimmages, NFL gets a couple of scrimmages, and we're putting the ball down against one of the best teams in the country. You know, they come from a storied SEC powerhouse conference, and Coach Elko's done a fantastic job there, and they've recruited like crazy, and they're going to give us, you know, more than we can handle, and we're going there.
A&M is currently favored by 21.5 points to win. And Incarnate Word football is going through the grind as well as they prepare to play at Nichols on August 23rd on ESPN2. This will be the first college football game on American soil in the 2025 season and is the first ever Southland Conference contest to be featured on a national linear television network.
I'm eager, man. I'm anxious. We've been putting in work all off season. We've been busting our tails this summer. We've been in fall camp, going at it every day, just getting better. So, I mean, we're ready to show the world what we've been working on. That these guys ready to land on the line. They're ready to play hard for each other every down, no matter if you're nicked up or bruised. Everybody's ready to go, and we got good depth. We got some guys that's rotating the twos that's ready to come step up and play. So, I mean, we got a lot of depth. We got a lot of talent, so it should be a fun season.
UIW is 3-3 all-time at Nichols, and guys, I'm just going to say, the Gravedigger, how can you not think UIW is going to win this one?
Well, I'm glad he explained, because I was thinking maybe he was into monster trucks. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a Gravedigger monster truck, so I thought maybe, but you know.
I've recently seen it in action.
You have young boys at home, so I'm sure.
Yeah, we actually have.
Yeah.
Maybe he likes monster trucks too.
We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on ABC's Prime Time at 7 o'clock. It is Celebrity Family Feud at 8. It's Press Your Luck, followed by the Night Beat at 10.
All right, next couple of days quiet. You know, the typical August weather, feeling the heat outside, right up near 100, give or take a degree or so. And then we get into Sunday, and that little disturbance from Florida could stir up a few showers. I mean, nothing to get excited about, nothing drought denting or anything like that. But, you know, for being early to almost mid-August, just even having a % chance of rain is kind of something.
It is something. We'll take it. Thanks, Adam.
We don't have a choice.
Thanks.